You'll get to hear how we are passionate about being able to impact in all areas, people, no matter, just like yourself. Okay, no matter where you are, from whatever walk of life you are, or no matter what age you are, we'll be able to help impact your life in some way through any one of those doors. And that's what I love about it. So I'm super, super excited about what it is that we get to share with you today. So I am going to move us straight along because I want you to hear from some of the beautiful people that are here. And first off, out of the gate, I get to introduce the beautiful Kimberly Wellman. So our first speaker is a proud wife and mum of 3 who lives in the Gold Coast. Kimberly is passionate about empowering women and families to step into their greatness and elevate their health and wellness while living life in accordance to their values. She's particularly driven to serve families looking to set themselves up in this new age world of online business and to get off the hamster wheel of life that sometimes gets created. She's celebrating 6 years with the Juice Plus family. Can you please welcome the beautiful Kimberly Wellman? I am going to spotlight you, gorgeous woman. So
hello.
Take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everyone joining us here live on Zoom, and I can see lots happening live over on Facebook as well. I am Kimberly and super excited to be here with you all today. Yes, you know what, Celine, I actually joined this community. I'm going into my 6th year now, and it was to the day, actually today. And to say that this has changed my family's life is just a huge understatement. Before I chat a little bit about how this mission and vehicle works, I just want to go backwards for a little moment first before we go forwards, in case any of you tuning in today can maybe relate to my story a little bit as well. But before saying yes to this beautiful community and mission and business vehicle, I was feeling pretty trapped and capped in life. I was sick of feeling like a hamster on a wheel, just going round and round, circling in the same work week, in the same schedule, in the same wage, in the same challenges, where life just felt so busy, but we just felt like our wheels were spinning and we were going around in circles, never really getting ahead. So we kind of felt like, as a young family, that we were doing all of the things expected on paper, right? But we were never really getting ahead, feeling that deep fulfillment and just energized in what we were doing in life. So I worked in corporate communications for 19 years as my full-time job. My beautiful husband, Ben, was running our traditional business. Yet neither of those avenues were really delivering on our dreams and our values as a family. So we craved more. We craved more freedom. We craved more time flexibility. We craved more adventure and spontaneity as a family. And we craved more abundance and time together. And when we hit a bit of a financially fearful time, we also needed a new way, but we just had no idea what that new way could be or what it even looked like. We didn't have any more time in the day. We were very stretched financially. And to be honest, my belief and energy was so low back then that I'd lost a bit of faith in anything above just working to pay the bills in life. So I don't know if anyone can relate to that right now. But what I now know to be true is that in those challenging seasons, when you feel like the wheels are spinning and you're just trying to keep your head above water, we can either bury our head in the sand and just cross our fingers. And I tried that, it doesn't work, just FYI. Or we can create solutions and get around people who are moving in the direction that we want to go. So I saw my friend creating something pretty special inside this space, and she was surrounded by community, by connection, by health and well-being, energy, vitality, purpose, passion, all of the things, right? And she was creating a beautiful income around it as well. But it took me 3 years to actually be open to learning a little bit more about what this was all about, because I was just, I can say it with a big smile on my face now, but I can go back there. I was just so skeptical about this profession and all of these happy people on these Zoom events and out there in life. So I don't hide the fact that, you know, there's a bit of stigma out there around the network marketing profession. And the reality was I kind of bought into that instead of getting my own questions answered. And I thought it was just one of those things for a long period of time. And I thought that maybe, you know, I had to be that person to be successful inside this space, that, you know, maybe I needed to go and hunt down all of my friends and being that annoying person that people avoid out there in real life or on social media. When the reality was, nothing was further from the truth. The deeper I dug here, I had a lot of questions when I got started, but the deeper I dug inside the profession, the company, the products, the people, the better it got. So I decided to make my why bigger than my why not, because if not this, then what? We were looking for something new. And so now, you know, I can speak so proudly today, and I really am one of the biggest advocates of our beautiful profession, because it is a space where we get to make an impact. We get to help ourselves and help others. We get to inspire others. We get to cultivate beautiful relationships and make a difference in the world. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the world needs a bit of extra help right now. So because of this business, I've been able to buy back 40 hours a week in my home as a woman, a wife, as a mum of 3, without sacrificing my income. I get to own my time and work with energy and purpose and excitement. So I built this, you know, it took me a few years to really build, but I built this alongside a full-time job. You know, it was initially that side hustle for us as a family to create some extra income. I did it in and around my 3 kids within 19 months of age, including a set of twins. At the time, I was doing 1-hour commutes, and also at a time where I wasn't my best self in life. I started this as a bit of a broken woman. And what I loved is, as I built myself here, this business has built alongside me as well. So the other thing that was highlighted pretty quickly to me when taking a closer look inside this business vehicle and community was, with the background that I had in corporate communications, I could see the new age ways of how we're buying and selling really evolving in the world. So as a generation, you know, we've shifted from that transactional energy to consumer driven energy. So people aren't buying based on what's on the cover of magazines or fancy billboards or fancy TV ads like they used to, right? They're buying based on reviews and testimonials and connections and recommendations. And they're not buying it just from celebrities anymore. They want it from everyday people. So inside our business, we get to help our partners through our online franchise model share and recommend our health offerings in a graceful way, where they get healthier and they get to make an impact and an income at the same time, with no experience, no qualifications needed, just that beautiful open heart to learn, to grow, to listen to that fire of desire, and to enjoy the certainty of our success systems and our trainings and coachings that we offer as well. So whether it's purely as a passion project, right? Whether it's for people to just lean into something and be the change that they wish to see in our world, whether it's to create an extra couple of $100 a month to create that bit of extra breathing space, or maybe you're looking for something that you can create some extra time, freedom, and flexibility out there, or that beautiful online leverage stream of wealth. You get to choose your level of commitment inside this beautiful space with no pressure or no expectation. So our compensation plan is one of the most generous that you'll find out there. And after having been that traditional employee for nearly 20 years, crossing my fingers and toes that maybe one day at the end of the financial year, I might get a bonus for everything that I was pouring in, only to be given that $30 bottle of red wine at the end of the year. When I found out that this compensation plan pays you 5 different ways, I was like, wait, what? 5 different ways? So 5 different ways that are in my control. And I don't know if any of you have got kids in sport these days, but with the rising cost of living right now, I've got to tell you, I'm pretty damn grateful for what I have in my hands right now and to not be capped in my income. But let's keep moving, because what really does highlight our business vehicle and community so powerfully is hearing from other women and families creating their version of success here and empowering and equipping themselves with our vehicle where they can be those epic solution creators and those impactors out there in the world. So I'd love to pass over to a gorgeous mama of 4 who homeschools her children. Her epic hubby, Kenny, works FIFO, and they love enjoying a life on the road where they value freedom and flexibility. So Renelle Hollier, I would love to hand over to you to maybe share a little bit around your story inside this community.
Oh, hi, everyone. So grateful to be spending this time with you today. And thank you, Kimberly. My name's Renelle, and yes, I am a mama to 4 kiddos. And if I rewind to August 2016, which was almost 7 years ago, I had 3 kids under 3 and was an absolute shell of a person. You wouldn't see me doing something like this today back then. But I had lost myself completely in motherhood. Our twins were born at 26 weeks, and our eldest was only 16 months old at the time. After months in hospital, we finally came home, and then there was years to follow where I was solely focused on getting my babies healthy and dealing with a newborn that was fitted with hearing aids, a son on home oxygen, and a toddler that missed out on a lot due to the ongoing appointments the twins endured because of being born 3 months early. But in amongst this time, money got super tight. We were barely keeping a roof over our head and feeding our kids baked beans on toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner just to survive. I remember sitting at the end of my bed, crying uncontrollably one day, thinking there had to be a better way. Kenny, my fiance, was working all that he could. He was doing the overtime, the weekends, he was on call, and that's when he asked me to go back to work. We had fought so hard to make sure that our babies came home safely to us that there was no way that I wanted to put them into daycare for someone else to be there caring for them day in, day out. And that's when this beautiful opportunity to work online with the most incredible company came across my path. The mentorship in this company is like nothing else. Everyone goes above and beyond to make sure that you are winning at life. And it's been a very holistic success journey for me over the last 6.5 years of not just improving my mindset, but my health and my soul's purpose, and helping me not only create a stable income where I haven't had to step foot back into traditional work, and nor did I have to ask for time off, maternity leave or time off when my 4th child was born 2 years ago. But I've also been able to impact so many women's lives in the most beautiful way. So because of this business and the team of women I have introduced to build their own businesses, I've been able to take time off over the years and care for my 90-year-old grandma, and know that together there was a community of amazing people and a head office team to support and help look after my clients and business partners while I attended to my family. So unlike traditional business where I possibly would have had to take leave without pay, I was able to not only maintain my income here, but by my choice to be away didn't have a negative impact on the whole entire collective, which I absolutely love about this industry. The growth of my business also allowed us the opportunity for Kenny to leave the mines and take 9 months off when our 4th child was born in 2021. And we were able to set off in our caravan and travel parts of Australia. And those memories that were made, our other 3 children never got that. And so to have this vehicle model and to be able to do that was just something that was really a gift for us. We've been able to make the choice to homeschool our older 3 children, like Kimberly said, and I literally fit this online work into pockets of time. So while the kids are having reading time or while they're enjoying the outside doing a play activity, I'm able to schedule in my work. Sometimes I wake up before they do in the morning, and other times I stay up a little later at night just to get my work done. But it allows me the ability to be a really present mum and not missing out on any of those special moments. It allows me to live in alignment with my highest value of travel and family, and having that freedom. But it gives me purpose and a meaningful life. And I'm so excited for the legacy that we as a whole will continue to make and be able to pass this down to our children. I'll be forever grateful for this amazing company.
Wow, incredible, Renelle, and your energy just beaming through the screen there. We appreciate you and your beautiful story. Let's come across now to Vicky and Kane, a dynamic duo who pre-warned us that their 3 boys may or may not take over their Zoom room today, which we always love. But guys, welcome. You've been in the community as a family for a few years now. Tell us why you joined and how this space has impacted you.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, full disclosure, they may walk in. One is asleep, 2 are, I'll admit, on devices to distract them for half an hour. But anyway, thanks for inviting us along to share. We are Vicky and Kane Gillingham. We have just moved to the Sunshine Coast from Melbourne, Australia, with our 3 beautiful boys. They are 9, 3 and 1. My background is as an interior designer for a major residential builder back in Melbourne, and Kane runs his own very successful architectural concrete business. So life is very full for us. And let's just say when this opportunity came into our life 2.5 years ago, we were not looking for a business. But I was in a pretty low place in my life and struggling just physically and mentally with just in the middle of Melbourne lockdowns through all of, what is it? The C word.
The nonsense.
Yeah, the nonsense. I was just busy putting everyone else's wants and needs ahead of my own, managing that busy showroom that I completely just burnt the candle at both ends. And instead of the people that should have been getting the best of me, they were literally just getting what was left of me at the end of the day. And I knew that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I had been actually following along a friend's journey via social media, and one day I popped a little comment on one of her posts saying, I wish I had time to be involved in the community like this. I didn't know what she was doing, but I just knew that I needed to be a part of it. So she invited me along to an event very similar to this to just learn all about what it was and have some, listen to some inspiring stories. And the stories that I listened to just really, really hit home for me. I think the biggest thing for me was I just wanted to start showing up as that best version of me, like Kimberly was saying before. I think that's a bit of a common thread, and really focusing back on my own physical and mental health after just having our second baby. I really struggled to get back on track as well. And also just creating a beautiful lifestyle for our family. I felt like we were in that grind and that 9 to 5 slog of stress and long hours and overwhelm. And I knew that we didn't want that for our life moving forward long term. So while I had all the fears, and there was definitely a lot of skepticism as to what this actually was, or even if I'd be able to do it, whether I would have time or the confidence and the knowledge. But what I learned by leaning in and having a few of those questions answered was that I didn't need to have all the time in the world. Renelle just touched on that. I've actually been able to literally do this in little stolen moments of time while running a full-time, while managing a full-time showroom with 2 kids at the time when I started, but also with all the mentoring and the systems in place. I've literally learned as I've gone. So I didn't need to know everything all at the start. And I think one of the biggest things, I had a bit of FOMO. I didn't want to actually regret in 12 months' time not believing in myself enough to give it a go. So this guy was actually the one that gave me a bit of a nudge and went, hey, I think you've got something in the palm of your hands here. I think we should really look into this. So I'm going to get him to talk about why, but we decided to say yes. So yeah.
I don't know if it's gentle persuasion or maybe a bit of a kick up the bum, but we got her into the right place. So
yeah.
I am Kane. I am husband to this 10. I'm a dad of 3 crazy boys. I am a traditional business owner, a JP franchise owner, and a very average golfer, to say the least. But I guess with what Vic touched on there, I'm no financial expert, but during the COVID lockdowns, especially being in Melbourne at the time, it was really evident that there is no such thing as job security. And I guess that didn't matter how fancy your job title was. We saw all these traditional high earners that couldn't go to work, they couldn't make an income, and they were sort of sitting at home stressing. So it was obvious to me that the only way to get out of that grind Vic was just talking about was to have multiple income streams. And as Vic mentioned, I run a successful architectural concrete company. We typically work for the top end of town, and we've had some clients with really, really high net worths. And there's one thing that I noticed that they all had in common, and it wasn't what you'd think it would be. What it was, and from what I saw, it was that most of them weren't present fathers. They were working 6-7 days a week. They were away from home from dark till dark. So they had all that money and they just didn't have any time. They were missing, I guess, first steps and first words. They didn't have time for their kids' sports. They weren't going to Friday cross countries, and they just didn't have that time to create memories. And it was a bit of a realization for me. It really hit home that this was actually me. I was also leaving, home in the dark and getting home in the dark. I was missing those things. And I had all those BS stories and always being able to justify it because we needed to make money. But I wasn't seeing the boys awake sometimes for 2, 3, 4 days in a row. And that really started to make a dent in us. And I think it was a great income, but at what cost? So I don't know if anyone else on here can relate to this, but between the two of us at the time, there was good earnings, but there never seemed to be getting ahead. I guess the hamster wheel really had us really, really good, and it wasn't what we thought life was supposed to look like. And it also made me believe at the time that having money meant not having a lifestyle, because I'd seen all these people with these great net worths, but not being able to do anything with it. So I had, I guess, tens or even hundreds of conversations with other tradies, and they only ever said they had dramas at home if they either A, worked too much, or B, didn't make enough money. And as you know, the two sometimes don't come in hand. So when you trade time for money, you cap on how much you can earn because you've only got a limited amount of hours in the day. And this is really where, I guess, Juice Plus entered our life. And it became the business that we could create both time and financial freedom. If we worked as hard at our Juice Plus franchise as we were for my business and for Vic's, I guess, employment role, that we knew we were going to achieve our goals. So one thing I've always believed in is having BHAGs. And if you haven't heard BHAGs before, it's big, hairy, audacious goals. But not just to have them, but to talk about them, to make them visual, to reverse engineer them, to break them up into bite-sized chunks. And one of our big ones was to relocate the family of 5 plus the 2 dogs in the 4-bedroom house from freezing cold locked up Melbourne to the sunny Sunshine Coast. And it was on our vision board. It was in our ensuite in our Melbourne home. And I was getting up at 5 o'clock every morning in the middle of winter. It's 3 degrees. And I was seeing these pictures of these gorgeous sun-drenched white sand Sunshine Coast beaches. Now that was a 3 to 5 year goal for us. And we moved up here 3 months ago.
Yeah,
which was just under 2.5 years since we set the target. So we knocked that one on the head pretty quickly, which we're really proud of. But the thing that really lights me up, and Renelle just talked about the childcare situation, we were able to extend this time with number 3, Vic's mat leave, to a full 2 years after, I guess, watching her heartbreak and my heartbreak, putting the boys back in to childcare at 3 and 4 months respectively for the first 2. So I guess it wasn't possible just because of the extra income, but what this business and this vehicle has given us is some belief. It's teaching us to set goals. It's letting us dream again, believe in ourselves, changing our mindset, step outside our comfort zones, and realize that you need to go for those things you want in your life. So looking forward, I think, just to throw it out there, our next big goal is to retire me from our traditional business and hang up the boots quite physically and literally with the concreting in 3 to 5 years. And hopefully then a bit of time to improve that golf game finally. You heard Vic mention it earlier, and I think if you only take one thing out of our story today is let it be that if nothing changes, nothing changes. Don't look back with regret. Look back and just realize what you've taken away from this. That's me, that's us, and that's back to you, Kimberly.
Incredible. Thank you, guys. And I think what always shines through just so powerfully in all of these stories is that golden thread of also community and connection being such a safe and strong leaping pad for people to make their moves from. There's certainly power in proximity. And often when we're desiring to do something more or make a change, the belief and confidence flows by surrounding yourself with other like-minded people who are growing and evolving it too. But behind any successful business and mission, there's always a super solid product and service. So we're excited to get out of the way and hand back to you, Celine.
Let's unmute, shall I? Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, the stories. Thank you all for sharing. Yeah, I just my heart was just filled just listening to the stories kind of thing. And I have to say, I'm not crying, you're crying, but anyhow, I am so excited to be able to introduce our next gorgeous speaker, who is going to talk about the other hero here, which is our amazing product. And Faye, I've had the honor of knowing Faye for quite a number of years now, but she has an absolute passion for all things health related. For those of you who know her, especially nutrition, she's only weeks away from completing her Bachelor of Food and Nutrition degree and has already been accepted in an exclusive nutrigenomics program. I don't even know if I said that correctly, but anyhow, she's really smart. For those of you who are wondering what it is, it's the influence of diet on health and disease. Right, there you go. In addition to being a student, she's a mum, a fitness professional, loves sailing and paddling, as well as her role in Juice Plus, her new role as business development, product and compliance. And just so you know, yesterday was her birthday. Let's give it up for the beautiful Fee. Come on over, darling.
Thanks, Celine. How exciting. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be here, and beautiful stories that we've heard. And I have this honor of sharing our product story. I'm a little bit passionate about it, and I could talk about this product till the cows come home. So to keep me on track, I'm going to share my screen with you. And just for our visual learners to play along as well, I'm going to go with a bit of a PowerPoint so that you can see what I'm rabbiting on about, because I will as I say,
just seeing your Zoom, not your PowerPoint, darling. So
you can see my Zoom and not my PowerPoint.
Yeah. There you go. Now we are.
I can see it. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let's get this show on the road. You know who we are. Let's talk about this amazing product. And so, guys, because Celine has painted the picture about my passion about nutrition, one thing that scares the bejesus out of me is the state of the nation's health, both here, Oz and NZ. And I'm going to start with that, because I think that we all know that there are a lot of people who are really concerned right now about their health, about the health of their families, and people are really looking for something. So just to really paint a clear picture for you, as we know, Australian and New Zealand government, we talk about 5 and 2, 5 veg, 2 fruit. And that's a requirement that we should be having every single day as a baseline. Really, the research is showing a lot more, but let's just stick with this 5 and 2. 2021, a research paper came out that showed 6.1% of adults are actually getting 5 and 2, and only 8.5% of our kids. And to me, that was absolutely heartbreaking. And it was definitely something that pushed me to go and study nutrition a little bit more, because I wanted to see what I could do to help change that stats. But, you know, we're going to start with the fact that when you're not consuming fruits and vegetables, you're missing a lot of micronutrition that you need. And so Juice Plus is just a simple change that can contribute to those important nutrients. So we're going to start our story in the dirt, my favorite place, getting into Mother Nature and talking about our farms, because this is where our product story is quite unique. So we have these amazing relationships with our farmers. We understand how they're growing and harvesting our products. They're picked at the perfect time, right when they're perfectly ripe, ready to go. So no early picking and storage. It's picked and then it's actually quick frozen right on site so that we can maintain those amazing nutrients that we really, really need. The process of bringing them from the farm in through a quality assurance process into our encapsulation plant is something that this company has been doing for 30 years. So the development and innovation is fascinating. And, you know, it really brings us to an amazing product that is, even the packaging is perfect to look after our amazing content, our beautiful capsules. So let's talk about these key nutrients that we need and how we're going to meet them. So when we look at our fruit, veg, and berries, and I know it says fruit on the slide, but I'm talking about the three, our premium, our fruit, veg, and berry. So these vine-ripened, beautiful products are brought into our encapsulation plant and blended. So we've got across the 30 varieties of plants that are blended in their various, their fruit, their vegetable, and their berry blends, encapsulated, and then these micronutrients, as I said, they're preserved, they're quick dried, it's quick frozen, so that we're maintaining that nutrition level. So when we get them into our body, we can see some really interesting things, and I'm going to delve a little bit into the research in a minute, but I just want to assure you that 30 years of this development has really led us to quite an amazing product that, you know, is in thousands, millions of families' homes around our globe. And being a global company, I think that's really important to note. We're getting this product to, I think we're up, is it 5 or 40 countries. So it's quite unique that we're getting this product around the world. Okay, this is a lifestyle boost, guys. Okay, so just remember that when we're talking about our products, we're not talking about it being the be all and end all. We are talking about an introduction to a product that will help boost what you're doing in your lifestyle to get us closer to those stats, or away from those stats, and closer to getting people to eating more fruits and vegetables. So apart from our fruit, veg, and berry blends in our capsule range, we also have an omega blend. And oh, I've skipped right past it. Let me go back to it. Sorry, guys. One of those faux pas, technical faux pas. Where is it? There it is. And this is a really important note, because once again, the product development and innovation that has come to give us this amazing omega blend is fascinating. So many of you have heard of fish oils. We skip the fish. We're going straight to the source of the omega-3 particularly, which is the algae. And so we use an algal oil. But it doesn't stop there. We use cold pressed seed oils. I'm talking about tomato seeds and raspberry seeds and pomegranate seeds. Now, just to name a few, because this is where it's at. And this actually gives us this amazing vegan blend of cold pressed seed oils and algal oil to deliver all of the nutrients that we need from our omega blend. Omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And that in itself, once again, very unique. So why do we need omegas anyway? Well, if you want your brain to work and if you like to see, vision and brain function are very important. And this is where we get our nutrition from our omega blend. So I'm going to also talk about our chews, which are used. We use the same fruit and veg powders from our amazing fruit and veg duo, and we bring them into a chewable. Now, this is amazing for those who can't swallow capsules, and there's plenty of people out there who can't, but it's great for our kids. So just remembering that I was saying that we've got 8.5% of our children are actually hitting that 2 and 5 a day. So this is a great way to increase beta-carotene, increase antioxidant levels, increase vitamin C and vitamin E by introducing these amazing chewables, and they're really yummy. They do not last in my house. They're pretty much, they arrive and then they're gone, and then I have to order more because they are so yummy. I'm sure there's a few of you out there who feel the same, but these are part of our essentials, and we love our chews, and we love the fact that we've got a program around that, which I'm going to talk to you about as well. So our capsules and chewables, just recapping, great for all lifestyles. They're certified non-GMO, which is amazing. There's lots of clinical research, and I will talk about that, gluten-free, whole food based, and vegan. So we've got this amazing range that is really quite simple to include into your daily routine. So let's have a chat quickly about this research. Now, this is why we've got slides, because if you let me free, I would talk about this for 45 minutes and we wouldn't get anywhere else. But this excites me. I hope there's some other science geeks watching today. But our research is mainly on our fruit, veg, and berry blend. Some are just on fruit and veg, some are on the trio. Why do we do research? Okay, number one, it shows our transparency as a company. It shows that we are authentic. We take our products, we put them on the line, and then we let the open scientific forums have a look at what our researchers have to say. Now, all our research is what we call gold standard. What does that mean? It means it's randomized. So placebo and people who are taking the Juice Plus products during the trial period, randomized means all their names are put into a computer, spits them out. No one knows who's in what group apart from a third party. This is where the gold standard stuff comes in. Then we have these clinical trials that will go, some will go for a couple of months, some will go for 8 months. It just depends on what we're looking for in the research. But we've also looking at the fact that this is double blinded. And that means that not even the researcher knows who's taking what product. And that's what I love about this gold standard is just remarkable, the lengths that the company goes to make sure that we have got this foolproof research protocol. And then the other important thing is our research is all statistically significant, which means we're not just trialing this on 1 or 2 people. There are studies with over 300, there are studies with around 150, but overall we keep a really good rate of our research and participants. So that's just to give you a little bit of the background. So what does it all mean? Okay, so this is some of the information that I can share with you regarding how our product has positively impacted on various health-related areas. And so we're talking about the bioavailability. It means the micronutrients are getting into the blood. Okay, that's really important because that's kind of where we want them. Heart health, immune, DNA, antioxidant protection. We can see that Juice Plus can actually contribute to cardiovascular wellness. It can reduce the severity of the common cold. It helps our DNA from oxidative stress, which we put our bodies through every single day. Whether we are athletes, whether we are stressed, we're getting this oxidative stress in our cells, and we need to make sure that we're helping our DNA by clearing that out. Increased levels of key antioxidants, again, in the bloodstream, and just helping our blood flow and our oxygenation of our skin microcirculation. So again, helping our skin. So there's something in our products for everyone. So I'm going to circle back to where our chews come in, because I want to just share with you briefly around our Healthy Starts program. Now, this is definitely something that was of interest to me when I first heard about Juice Plus, and I heard that I could go on it and sponsor one of my children for free to receive the products. I just thought, well, that's new. What sort of company does that? But not only do we do it, but we now do it for up to 14 years. And that's nearly 13 grand worth of free product in AUNZ. Okay, so that is a huge contribution. Globally, it's about $50 million. Okay, so we are helping families to improve those stats that I started with by introducing Juice Plus and sponsoring a child for free. So I'm sure there's many of you, put me a 1 in the chat if you are on a Healthy Starts program. I'd love to see how many of you are involved, because this is an amazing, amazing program. Let's have a look at what these stats have said. When somebody joins our Healthy Starts program, they actually get a survey We want to know their baseline, what's going on with kids now. They get a survey a little bit later. The survey is a third party. Okay, so again, it's not Juice Plus managing this. This is very important about our transparency and our authenticity, that all of this research is done outside our company. So the two stats, I mean, these all 6 are great, but the 2 things that just light me up with this is 61% were eating more fruits and vegetables. So let's go back and remember 8.5% of children are actually getting what they need to do. And we've got a way to help bring that up, okay? And then 71% drinking more water. How good is that? Also, you know, the less salty foods and less sugar, you know, all amazing research findings. But just those 2, for me, just really convinced me that this would be a great thing for my family. So let's kind of wrap this up in a bow for you, because I want you to understand a couple of things. Number one, our capsule products and our chews are shipped in a 4-month supply. Often we go, 4 months, why are we doing that? At a cellular level, our cells will renew every 90 days. By us giving you 120 days worth of product means that you are getting past that 90 days and seeing new cell regeneration, particularly in that last 30, of what's going on with your body. So you can actually see what is happening here. But it's also part of the puzzle, okay? It's not the be all and then the end all, because we also have amazing programs that go alongside our products that help us to eat well while we are supplementing well, and then we get to live well. So we also have some shakes. I don't have time to tell you about the shakes, but I can tell you they are phenomenal. And maybe one day Celine will let me come back and tell you all about the shakes, because honestly, I could spend another 30 minutes just on them alone. So I hope that's given you some insight about what our products and our programs are about. Thanks, Celine.
And I continue to get excited and continue to mute myself. Thank you so much. I just love hearing your passion around our product, and most definitely we will be doing more of these to be able to feature on also our complete. So let's hear from some amazing people in our community that we'll get to kind of share just how they're living well because of the amazing Juice Plus programs. But I've got a question for you. Do you remember where you were when the 2000 Olympic Games opened in Sydney? Well, our next speaker was right there on site amidst all of the pomp and ceremony, carrying the Olympic flame. He was Australia's first professional triathlete and the first Australian man to win a full-length Ironman distance triathlon. He has represented Australia at 3 World Triathlon Championships, twice finishing in the top 8 and winning a silver medal in the Australian team in 1991. He has been involved in health, fitness and lifestyle industry for nearly 40 years. He's as young as I am, and trusting his health and his family's health to Juice Plus for more than 23 years. In fact, it's 25 years now. Please welcome the one, the only, Mr. Mark Dragon. Over to you.
Well, that's a bit exciting. Thank you, Celine, and thank you so much to Kimberly and Renelle and Kane and Vicky and Fee. That you guys don't need to hear anymore. You've heard incredible stories and, more importantly, incredible information from Fee that is not incredible, but credible. That's probably the best word to use, documented. So my journey here started in 1998, way back when this company first came to Australia. And I was introduced to it through a rugby league legend. I follow rugby league, the mighty Manly Sea Eagles to be precise. And I was struck immediately by the simplicity of it. I thought, well, why hasn't someone else done this? This is just so simple. I was struck by the fact that it made so much sense. And I was struck by the fact that it had documented evidence behind it. And that's something I had never seen before. As Celine mentioned, I've been in the sort of health and fitness space, more fitness than health, I would have to say back then. These days, it's more health than fitness, actually. So I was in very much that fitness space, having been a professional athlete, but I was always interested in health and always curious about health. So when I heard about it, I was very, I suppose, intrigued. I was somewhat excited, and but I was also skeptical, like many of you listening today may well be. You need to be of everything. There's so many con artists these days. Just look at the text to your phone and and your emails that you get on a daily basis. You know, this is not for everyone, but my choice was to fly to America and meet the owner of the company, Mr. J. Martin, the president and founder of the company. I met Dr. Humbert Santillo, the guy who invented the product. And I went to Natural Alternatives International. Fee showed a few things that they're responsible for in her presentation. That's the company that blends and encapsulates the product. And I satisfied myself through endless questioning of those particular individuals and companies that this was bona fide and it was real. And that's 25 years ago. I can tell you the date, 12th of May, 1998. And the rest, as they say, is history. It has been an incredible journey. We've been able to impact so many families, so many of our people in our own, you know, family, our kids, and literally thousands of people all over the world. We've been able to help through, you know, through the programs that this fabulous company offer. All I can say is, the proof's in the pudding, guys. The proof is there if you are objective and really want to dig in. It's perfect for everyday people, but it's also really important that athletes and those in that athletic space look after their health, because what you do as an extreme athlete, I suppose I was, is not necessarily healthy. It's great for your fitness, but not great for your health. So I encourage everybody online today to do your own diligence. Speak to if you're invited on, speak to the person who invited you on, ask more questions, get everything you need to know answered. And what you'll find is that this actually tends to under-promise and over-deliver, which is very exciting. So you've heard some great stories today from, you know, from wives, mums, and women with, you know, various backgrounds, with common thread, all with kids. And I'm a dad. So I'm really excited to introduce you to a couple more women who are athletes in their own right. Our first guest is an amazing woman who competes in the sport of triathlon. Yay! Competing in swimming, riding, and running, of course, and testing her own personal limits. She has completed 3 Ironman triathlons, and they are 10 to 15-hour days, non-stop exercising, swim, bike, and run. And she represented Australia in her own age group in front of family and friends at the 2018 World Championships on the Gold Coast. She is from the Gold Coast, sports a family affair in her house with the whole family competing in various athletic pursuits and fundraisers. Plus, she's a primary school teacher. So, Natasha, love to hear your story, and thanks so much for coming on and joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me on. And yes, like you said, sport is a bit of a family affair. I've just walked in. The girls have done the 2K fun run at the Gold Coast Marathon events, and hubby and I are getting ready today to do the marathon tomorrow. So it's super exciting. So I guess just as athletes, you know, we ask a lot of our bodies, and we want our bodies to perform for us like we will tomorrow. But we need to give it what it needs, not only to survive, but to thrive. And I guess it was like 9 years ago, I kind of really learnt that food is our medicine, and it's such an important piece in life as an athlete. You can do all the training, you know, do all the sessions, do all the strength work, but it really comes down to what you're putting in your body. If you want that quality output, you've really got to put that quality into your body. So I guess, yeah, before I found these programs too, I was, you know, very fussy about what I chose to put in my body, learning how much the impact of what we're consuming has
on what we do. And I guess particularly people are feeling this right now, like no one wants to be on the sidelines sick and injured. And this program really lays the foundations for us to thrive as athletes, to be able to train well, recover well, perform well, and just generally live that vibrant life that we all crave. And I don't know about, other athletes, but for us, we're here for longevity. Like I've still got lots of goals and events and things that I want to tick off. So, that's really important for me to look after my body. And I guess another thing we've found as parents who are also trying to pursue our athletic endeavors, it got a whole lot harder trying to, tick things off. And this program just provides some ease around that with the healthy family recipes that are available to us. And, as busy people, we can still get the correct fueling that our body needs. The reality is that we're time poor. We, work, training, kids have got their sports. So this really helps us to bridge the gap, especially on those days, when the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. to train, you're training, work, and you're not walking back in the door until the sun's gone down again. And it just, really helps to know that we're still nourishing throughout the day and, every day, no matter what life throws at us. And I know during training blocks, it can be really common for athletes to feel tired, feel like they need a nap. I know that was definitely us. And before kids, we'd have the luxury of being able to, come in the door and take that nap. But these days you train, you walk in the door and it's back into parenting mum mode. And these, we don't always have that, the time to cool down, stretch, do all those recovery things. So being able to find a way that we can still nourish our bodies and we feel great and, avoiding those slumps and things is what's important to us. So just to sum it all up, these programs are helping us and other athletes to thrive in all that we do and we set out to achieve. So thank you for having me on.
Wonderful. And good luck tomorrow to you and hubby, both doing the marathon. Good luck. Our next speaker is somebody I'm very proud of. She's a competitive track and field athlete. In fact, she holds multiple state and national records, including the national record. That's the Australian record, guys, for the 200-metre steeplechase for women in the 45 to 49-year-old age group, which ranked her second in the world for that event. She's raced 6 marathons, talking of marathons, and in 2015 actually won the Nashville Rock and Road Marathon. She loves challenging her body and her mind in all areas of her life. She's a solo mum of 3 kids. She loves helping other women through providing community and connection, personal growth and health. So I'd like to welcome Sharon Peterson. Are you there, Sharon?
Thank you so much. I'm apologizing, everybody, for my technical glitch, but thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited to share. So I came across this company around 8 years ago. I'm 51 currently. So no, I was 43 at the time. I'm puffing because I've been running up and down the stairs. So I was 43 at the time. My kids were at 7, 12 and 13. I'm a sole mum. So I was definitely at a time in my life where I was exhausted. I was desperate. And I was just completely overwhelmed with life. I'm a high achiever, having achieved a lot of great results in my athletics competitions and, credentials there. So I really was trying to be the best at everything, but it was at the expense of my own health. And I didn't really know what to do. And it was like I was living a bit of a double life, on the outside. It looked really great, this energized, excited, happy mum, doing all the things with the kids and having success in sport and my athletics career and work. But inside, I was so exhausted. Like I would sleep every single day during the day for 2 to 3 hours. I couldn't get through a day without it. I was drinking too much coffee. So really, it was just, I was ashamed and embarrassed of that. So when this whole program come across my path, I really didn't think I was in a state to take on anything new. You know, you get in these habits of doing the same old thing, and to think new things in an exhausted brain, it just doesn't, you know, it's not easy to take on. But then I started to see, when I looked more closely at the programs, it seemed really simple to implement. It seemed like, okay, this is family friendly. So I thought, why not? You know, if it's going to help my athletic performance, I didn't even think it would help sleeping and things like that. But I think if it can help give me that 1% of benefit in my athletic performance, and even, you know, help my kids with their general health, why not give it a go? So, you know, we did, and it was the best decision that I look back, it's probably one of the best decisions I've made for the entire health of my family. I was desperate for vitality at that time, and, you know, my body was breaking down, you know, definitely showing serious signs of depletion. So when we began embracing the programs of eating well, living well, supplementing well, I noticed significant changes in my energy and my health, my mental focus, just everything started to lift. It was like the dark clouds had lifted. So and it was a little bit odd. I hadn't anticipated that. So I was a bit skeptical at first, but I just embraced it. And it was like a missing link in my health. So I no longer need my daytime naps, and I began to find my energy was just so much more regulated. I began to notice how much more I could accomplish in my days. If you're not sleeping for 2 hours a day, you get a lot more done. And so just a few simple changes for us made a world of difference. You know, my athletic recovery was better. I was able to back up training sessions, you know, better. I was not feeling quite so sore. The body had less inflammation. So all of those things that Fee was talking about with the clinical studies, I feel like my body felt those things, those changes as an athlete. And, you know, now I'm 51. Back then I was 43. And in that 7-8 year time frame, the body continues to change. And I guess that's one of the things I really love about our holistic health programs is it caters for all ages. You know, my kids are really active and sporty too. So being able to have programs that are individually catered and kind of packages that really match different phases of life, it's so important, because now I'm 51. And when I turned 50 last year, it was a real kind of pivotal time in my life. I think, all right, I'm halfway, hopefully not quite halfway yet, so I would like to make that centenarian achievement. But I sort of feel like now I've got so much more control over my health and so much more confidence. I feel stronger, you know, than I did back when I was, you know, 10 years ago. So I love that we can really support and encourage and have the resources to help families no matter what phase of life they're in. So, you know, moving forward, I have great, you know, excitement and joy for just continuing to build health and spread that message, because, you know, what we have is a real gift, and it's a gift of life. And, you know, I'm really grateful for that. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, I tell you what, that was way worth waiting for. Your internet dropped out or whatever happened, but that was awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Well, folks, it's been a marvelous day. I'm going to throw back to you, Celine. So many gold nuggets shared with everybody today. Thanks for having us all.
I am so glad that we did wait. I love your energy, Sharon. You're such an inspiration. Definitely as we get older, the body changes. That's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, just saying. But as I continue to wrap up here now, I just want to thank you all so much for coming on this journey with us this afternoon. The stories are really what we're about. We can tell you the facts, and we told you some of that, but really it's about the stories of impact that we get, you know, both from knowing our product, our programs, the opportunity to be able to then build a business. It's all about our impact. But one of the other P's I talked about was paying it forward. And so one thing we are super passionate about as a community is being able to help those people who maybe not as fortunate as all of us. And so we invest in many different ways. So whether that is through coming alongside organizations that help with feeding the homeless, with domestic violence, with, you know, children's charities and that. We have got so many different ways in which we're able to reach out. And in fact, this past few weeks ago, when we were on the Gold Coast for our conference, our beautiful community came together. And a couple of things that we did, you know, one of the things that we hate to do is waste food. And we had lots of food left over from the lunch. We were able to get an organization to come along and take that food to feed the homeless on that Friday night. And then the Saturday, as we finished, our beautiful community came together. We had all of these bags that we put together called blessing bags, and we put lots of different things in here. Now, this is something that, you know what, you can do yourself right today. Go and get a bag and go and buy some things like maybe some sanitary products or some tinned food or something like that, and pay it forward to an organization. We were able to help 2 organizations who focus around homelessness and domestic violence, and we were able to give away 400 blessing bags to be able to bless them. Next week, we actually release a couple of our new programs, our charity program, where we get to be able to come alongside different charities in Australia and New Zealand that will be picked by our amazing partners, so that we can again continue to increase our impact. And also another program that's going to come alongside our Healthy Starts program. We want to invest more into children, even more than what we're doing now with all of that beautiful free product. We also want to be able to look at giving out mini grants to maybe children's sports or different interests that help our children to also live well and eat well, because we know that they are our future. They are those people that we actually want to be able to continue to sow in, because they are our future leaders. They are our future doctors and health professionals, and they are our future Juice Plus franchisees. So we want to make sure that we come alongside them. One of the things that we are passionate about is also continuing to raise the standard in our profession. So there's something that we share and we stand by, and I just want to share it very quickly with you. And it may just give you a sense of who we are, who you are looking at, and who you're potentially maybe looking at either partnering with, whether that is as a customer with our beautiful product and programs, or maybe coming alongside us as a Juice Plus partner and getting us to share our mission. So who are we and what do we stand for? We stand for love and community, fun and learning, health and impact, family, purpose and faith, contribution and integrity. We stand for what's right in our profession. We lead from the front, not looking right at left or left at distractions, but keeping our focus on the impact that we get to make in the world together by inspiring healthy living and helping as many people as possible realize their dreams. We not only stand for impact, but create impact, massive impact, making sure that we expand love everywhere we go. So we want to create together by embracing and sharing how we live well, eat well, supplement well, and serve well with Juice Plus by lighting a faith of fire, faith, trust, and impact. What we do is a direct representation by the number of lives that we get to change. So I just want to kind of really encourage you all to be courageous. Ask yourself, how can I take control of my life? Whether that's my health, my well-being, my financial future, what does that look like for you? And you know what? If there was even a little bit out of what we shared today that really just kind of made you kind of go, I'm just a bit curious. What if this could be something different for me? Then I'm going to encourage you to really get with whoever invited you along to either watch this or join us on Facebook, wherever you have been hanging out with us, because we want to invite you to help us to light this flame of impact right across Australia and New Zealand. We need it. This country, these 2 countries need love, community, and better health. So we want to invite you to come on the journey with us. And a huge thank you to everybody who shared today. I just love how you just came to serve our greater community by sharing your stories. So thank you all so much. Take care. And remember, get those questions answered. Big love and hugs to you all. Take care. God bless. Bye for now.